Our young people are under assault, and there is a buildup of hatred in this country for our people. I'm sure you can see it as you move throughout the cities and interact with white people. There's just a growing fear and hatred of black people.
Yes, sir.
In fact, there was a show on CBS a few days ago talking about the tragedy that 25% of our young men are either in jail or prison, on parole or under court supervision.
What's up, YouTube family? Welcome back to my space. This is Evans Trayola, guys. So guys, on today's video we want to talk about the sickness of envy, and to speak to us today is Louis Farrakhan, who's the leader of the Nation of Islam. He has spoken extensively on the topic of envy, often framing it as a destructive emotion that undermines personal and communal growth. According to Farrakhan, envy arises when individuals harbor feelings of resentment or ill will toward others due to their successes, talents, or blessings. He often refers to envy as a spiritual sickness that eats away at the envious person while sowing discord within the community. Farrakhan also ties envy to broader social and historical dynamics. For example, he has spoken about how envy has been a tool of control, that has been used to divide oppressed communities, particularly in the context of black people in America. He warns against allowing envy to disrupt unity, stressing that collective success depends on mutual support and cooperation. So guys, I want you to watch this video of Louis Farrakhan trying to explain how envy, has particularly been used in the context of black people in America. Once the video has ended, we'll get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Let's watch this, guys.
The white folk are very nervous and disturbed, as they should be, and we should be doubly disturbed at the condition of our people.
Yes, sir.
And nobody is addressing the concerns of black people adequately. And as a result, our people are dying at an extremely inordinate rate.
Yes, sir.
Our young people are under assault, and there is a buildup of hatred in this country for our people. I'm sure you can see it as you move throughout the cities and interact with white people. There's just a growing fear and hatred of black people.
Yes, sir.
In fact, there was a show on CBS a few days ago talking about the tragedy that 25% of our young men are either in jail or prison, on parole or under court supervision. They say that this represents a lost generation of black people, and if something is not done, we will lose another generation. And this CBS report said that America has her own apartheid, and that this is a tragedy by any stretch of the imagination, that a whole group of people within a country as great as this should be suffering and dying as black people are suffering and dying. And government is not talking about our suffering.
That's right.
And the leaders, unfortunately, are not really talking about it.
That's right.
I think Mr. John Jacobs of the Urban League, in his State of the Black America report, was very definitive in the condition of our people. But it doesn't seem as though his words have triggered other black leaders to be very passionately concerned about our future. Well, it is left to us who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who knew and know that that man evolved a program for our people. And it's the only program that there is put forth by any leader that would satisfy the total requirements of a nation of people with an ever-growing population. If it is the will of Allah, I don't really know how this show will go tomorrow, but we will be questioned by one of the toughest reporters in the country, Mr. Sam Donaldson, who I believe gave so much hell to the presidents that they offered him a primetime television show to get him away from the White House Corps of Reporters. He really was the toughest reporter on Reagan.
That's true.
For 8 years. And I don't think Mr. Bush wanted to be bothered with him. So tomorrow he and Diane Sawyer will question us. Now I want to go right to the subject matter because I am a little exhausted and I didn't want to disappoint you. Envy is one of the worst kinds of spiritual diseases. Any one of us who have some gift or quality that others wish they had or want, it is so sad that people will literally hate you for what only God could give you. An envious person is really a devil. No matter what the color of the skin. If your heart is poisoned with the disease of envy, you have become in your person a devil. Why is that? Because you or those who are afflicted with that disease are not just hateful of the person whom they envy, but they are hateful of the God who gave that person that which they have, for which they are being envied. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that an envious person is the worst kind of person. That's a devil. Because an envious person will kill you. Now, that makes you a devil. Because if God is the giver of life and the giver of gifts, and someone is envious of you because of some gift that God gave you, and that envy reaches the point where it becomes hatred, and then hatred gives way to murder, then that person who would rob you of the life that God gave you because of a gift that God gave you. That's the worst kind of human being. Now, each of us in our lives have met jealousy, and we have met envy. In a magazine called Psychology Today that came out in December 1989, in an article by Mrs. Jane Ciabattari titled, "Will the 1990s be the age of envy?" The title on the cover was put this way: "Envy will turn you upside down." Boy, that's a heavy statement. Envy will turn you upside down. She writes, as the door closes on the era of having it all. Well, that era has never opened it up for us. She said, we are ripe for a dangerous epidemic of envy. Are you susceptible? Now, we have never had it all, but everything that we have had, every organization that we have built, has been destroyed from within because of envy. So even though we don't have it all, we'll never get it all.
Right.
Unless we can uproot and destroy this disease of the heart called envy. Now, this woman described the state of envy that many people would degenerate into. And this is why on Sunday I read from the Holy Quran a chapter of refuge.
Yes, sir.
Because right now, we as Muslims, and I in particular,
Yes, sir.
have to seek refuge totally in God from the evil of the mischief of created things. When a person is envious or hateful, they can take that which is natural, created by God, and turn it into that which creates mischief. They can take our nature, given by God, and with a wicked intent turn the nature and make it respond to a call that leads it to mischief making. Terrible. Allah says in the Quran that we should seek refuge in Allah from a day when darkness overspreads the earth. Meaning that people will become so confused that they will not respond properly to right guidance. They will actually hate truth, so that darkness will cover them, and then gross darkness, so that a people who are envious, their hearts and their minds are already darkened, and whatever light that person may possess is gradually extinguished as the envy increases.
Teach us.
Allah says in the Quran that we should seek refuge against those who cast evil suggestions in firm resolutions. There are people that talk to you all the time.
That's right.
And if you're not a discerning one, you don't listen carefully to not just the words, but the way the words are placed. Someone will make a positive assertion, but deep down in it is an evil suggestion. Each one of us have been victims of this, and some of us have done this. When you want to talk about somebody that you don't like, and you want somebody else to dislike that person as you have come to dislike them, but you don't want to come straight out and say that's a no good so-and-so. So you make a firm resolve that sounds so harmless, but in it is an evil suggestion. For instance, I was downtown the other day, and I just happened to go by the Federal Building, and guess who I saw coming out? And then they name a person. What? I've always been somewhat suspicious that this person is an agent, or now that's a seed. You may say, well, I don't really think so. But then when you see that person, and they may not be feeling well that day, and they may not even speak because there's so much on their mind. A seed dropped so skillfully, you could never accuse the person of saying. They just said, I was by the Federal Building and I saw so-and-so coming out. Looked like they were coming from the floor that the FBI office was on. Terrible. And how many of us fall for that? I seek refuge in Allah, not only from the person who casts evil suggestions in a firm resolution, but I seek refuge in Allah from the evil of the envier when he envies. Now it ends with that envier, because that is what is happening in the world today. That's what has our people upside down today.
That's right, sir.
It is envy.
Yes, sir.
Now look, this psychologist wrote, as disappointment grows and as ambitions and desires are thwarted, social conditions are ripe for a destructive epidemic of envy. The all too human emotion defined by Webster's dictionary as the painful or resentful awareness of an advantage enjoyed by another, joined with a desire to possess that same advantage. But it's painful for you to see somebody with something that you yourself want. Now, brothers, you may be talking to a certain girl, and you've let your emotions get carried away. You're in love with the girl, but the girl don't seem to feel the same way. She's talking to your friend. Now, ain't that a kick in the face? Now, the more you look at the girl, the more you like the girl, the more you want the girl, the less the girl pays attention to you. Then you begin to look at your friend real strange. Y'all grew up together, you all went to school together, but now something is growing in the heart. Y'all walk the street together, and you hear him talking about this sweet little girl, you know what I mean? And every time he talk about her, you grit your teeth and act like you. And pretty soon you begin to hate him. Because it's like he's taking something from you. It could be jealousy. But jealousy is born out of love. But envy has its root in hate. Now look, this writer says, envy is not a gentle emotion. Envy is not a passive emotion. Once you envy somebody, you gotta act. It's heavy. Envy is aggressive. Not only do I want what you have, and I want you not to have it, I want to take it away from you. And if I can't do that, I'll spoil or destroy it or you. On television today, they were talking about young black people killing each other over sport jackets, over certain kind of shoes, sneakers. Man, somebody walk up to you and you got LA Gears on. Or Reeboks. And he said, well, I like that. He don't like it for you. He likes it for him. All right, nigga. Take off them sneakers. You look at him and say, hey man, what you talking about, man? He pulls out a gun. He's serious. And not only will he take your shoes, he'll kill you for resisting. There's a Muslim brother in Detroit last week, looking sharp, had a nice coat on, standing on the corner, getting ready to take a bus. Somebody walks up to him with a gun and says, look, I want that coat. He said, man, you must be out of your mind. He turned his back to walk away from the man. The man shot him twice, took the coat. Luckily, the brother is alive, but he's damaged. But he just came out of the hospital and hopefully he'll be all right.
Family, Louis Farrakhan is one figure to watch out in America. Louis Farrakhan is Currently, I know he's more than 90 years old and he is aging. And in his 70s, 80s, and 60s, Louis Farrakhan has done a really, really nice job in regards to defending the rights of black people in the US. You know, he's done a lot of speeches. He's done a lot of speeches just trying, you know, to address how black people have been undermined over the years in the US. And he's been just a person who's been trying to push, or rather foster, for the unity of black folks, you know, just like people like George Fraser, you know, people like Pastor Stephen Darby, you know, the late Pastor Fred Price, and all these figures, you know, from the US, who are trying so hard, you know, to push for the unity of black people. So family, in this video, Farrakhan specifically tries to say the condition of our people, you know, the condition of black folks, and he's been addressing the condition of black folks, saying that not many people, you know, are willing to talk about the condition of black folks. You know, not many people are willing to say how the black folks are discriminated. He says that as a result of our people, as a result of oppression, our people are dying at an extreme rate. Our young people are under assault, and there is a buildup of hatred in this country for black people. You know, there's a lot of hate for black in America, according to Louis Farrakhan. He proceeds to say, as a result of our people are dying at an extreme rate, our young people are under assault, and there is a buildup of hatred in this country for black people. It is visible as you move throughout the cities and interact with our people. There is a growing fear of hatred of black people. He proceeds to say that 25% of young men are either in jail or in prison or under court supervision. More than 25% of young black people, you know, they say this represents a lost generation of black people, and if something is not done, we'll lose another generation. This CBS report, you know, the CBS report is the one that actually mentioned that 25% of young people are either in jail, prison, or under court supervision. The CBS report that say that America has her own apartheid, and this is a tragedy. Family, what comes to your mind when you hear that more than 25%, you know, at least 25% of black folks in America, you know, of young black men in America are either in prison, jail, or under court supervision? What comes to your mind? Myself, what comes to my mind is that we could be arrested, you know, illegally, or rather we could be in crime as a people. We know what happens in the American roads, where black people are easily arrested, black folks are easily killed. So when you see that 25% of our people, you know, are in prison, you can already tell that justice for blacks is not a thing in the US. Government is not talking about our suffering. Our leaders are not talking about it. Mr. John Jacob, in his State of the Black American report, was very definitive in the state of our people, but his words didn't trigger other leaders to be concerned about our future. Who then should be concerned about black folks? You know, it's time that we take, you know, the boot to our hands, you know, and start working on ourselves as a people. Let us foster unity for us as black folks, because none of the not the leaders or anybody in the position of government are actually concerned, you know, with our condition as black folks in America, according to Louis Farrakhan. Envy is one of the worst kinds of spiritual diseases any one of us with a gift or quality that others wish they had. It's sad that people will literally hate you for what only God will give you. An envious person is really a devil, no matter what the skin color is. If your heart is possessed with the spirit of envy, you have become a devil. Family, how does the spirit of envy, you know, impact us as a people, as black folks? You know, if you're not happy for the win of other people, if you're not happy for the talent that other people do possess, then now you having an evil spirit, and a spirit that is not that of the Lord, because God is the one who gives out the gifts, and you ought to respect some of these things. You know, you cannot be sad because your brother is winning. You cannot be sad because your brother is talented. The best way that you can actually tackle this sickness of envy is by us supporting each other, by us growing as a people, and by us ensuring that we move forward as a generation of black men. It is sad that right now in the US most of us are in prison. You know, 25% is a large number amongst the youthful population. You know, having to see all this said and done, that the government does not care about us, it's time that we actually try and strive as a people. It's time that we do support each other. It's time that we stop fighting amongst ourselves, but rather bring unity, foster messages of hope, love, and unity, because that's the only way that Black America will rise. You know, he proceeds to say that an envious person is the worst kind of person, because an envious person will kill you. If God is the giver of life and gifts, then an envious person goes against God's will. Black folks have never had it all, you know, but everything that we have, everything that we've had, every organization that we have built have been destroyed from within because of envy. Even though we don't have it all, we will never get it all unless we can uproot and destroy this disease of envy. You know, we can never move forward if you have the spirit of envy. An envious person can take that which is natural, created by God, and turn it to that which creates mischief. They can take our nature given by God and turn the nature and make it respond to a call that leads to mischief. Family, thank you so much for tuning to watch this video. I do not take your support for granted, guys. Kindly comment down below. Let me know what you think about the teaching of Louis Farrakhan, you know, when it comes to the condition of black people in America right now. Thank you so much, guys. You can as well like this video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users. Last but not least, guys, subscribe to the channel, and that's the only way we can be able to spread the gospel about black folks in America, in diaspora, and in Africa. Thank you, guys, and see you all in my next episode. Goodbye for now.